of the same divine light here together on this journey. Why can't we just get along? Well, maybe because everyone keeps lying to us the whole time and not letting us communicate freely. That could be one of the reasons. If you want to come and see me live, you can. I'm in the UK all from January to May. Loads of different venues. Scotland. Have a look at the link in the description if you want to come and see me. But before then, let's get into the details of this Pfizer and Big Pharma whistleblowing skullduggery. Li Fang, writing in The Intercept, said, Pfizer is among the big pharma companies trying to block legislation strengthening whistleblowers' ability to report corporate fraud. Sometimes I wonder, what is the excuse that they'll use for doing that? Look, we've got to stop whistleblowers. Oh, why is that? Because I suppose the first thing a person would think is because you've got stuff that you've done that you're ashamed of, that you're trying to hide, that if people found out, they wouldn't trust you or spend money on your products, and they certainly wouldn't let you be in a position where you're able to profit at large from mandated process. No, it's like, I can't even think what you would say. It's just like some of those whistleblowers, they blow their whistles really hard and a dog could hurt its ears. No, that's true. We all like dogs. Pfizer and other large pharmaceutical corporations are pushing to block legislation that would make it easier for whistleblowers to hold companies liable for corporate fraud. Major corporate interests, including Pfizer, are fighting an update to the False Claims Act, a Civil War era law that rewards whistleblowers for filing anti-fraud lawsuits against contractors on behalf of the government, with whistleblowers successfully helping uncover wrongdoing by military contractors, banks and pharmaceutical companies. The law has been particularly thorny for Pfizer. In 2009, Pfizer paid $2.3 billion in criminal and civil fines to settle allegations that the company illegally marketed several drugs for off-label purposes that were specifically not approved by the Food and Drug Administration. It's not enough that they fund the FDA ultimately, 40% of FDA funding coming from the pharmaceutical companies that they're meant to be regulating. They even ignore them laws anyway. Stuff like that now, you just accept it, don't you? Yeah, they paid $2.3 billion in fines. I mean, I can't think of a sort of an everyday equivalent. We accept that there are just different cultural strata, whether it's tax or consequences. Most obviously, the 2008 financial crash. Did anyone suffer for that obvious corruption? I think one bloke went to jail. The company instructed its marketing team to advertise Bextra, which was approved only for arthritis and menstrual cramps, for acute and surgical pain issues. Do you have acute and surgical pain issues? Yes. Why not take this arthritis medicine? Because it doesn't work. Why not take it anyway? It's making me feel ill. Shut up! The lawsuit, brought under the False Claims Act through the actions of 6 whistleblowers, ended in one of the largest healthcare fraud settlements in history. But the law poses far less risk today to companies engaged in criminal behaviour. That's because the anti-fraud statute has been severely hampered by a series of federal court decisions that radically expanded the scope of what's known as materiality. In 2016, the Supreme Court ruled that a fraud lawsuit could be dismissed if the government continued to pay the contractor. Wow, that's actual literal corruption. You know, sometimes don't you find yourself having conversations, and when it comes to the crunch, when someone goes, well, what's so wrong? What would you do differently? You can't sort of think of the thing that you're meant to say, oh God, what is it, the corruption that's going on? You go, well, what about the fact that you can dismiss lawsuits against a corporation if the government continues to pay that corporation? Is that something we could change? That's one of our finest laws. Yeah, there are so many examples. Every day we do this, and every day I read stuff out to you that I think that could be stopped. That's not impossible. No wonder people are losing faith in mainstream culture, mainstream media, corporate states, because wherever you are in the world, whatever your background is, your class, your religion, your gender, your sexuality, you can see that society is being bent continually to the interests of the powerful. Wherever there's a law that supports ordinary people, that law is attacked, diminished or dismissed. Wherever there's a right that ordinary people enjoy, if it stands in the way of the interests of the powerful, it will be removed, undermined, compromised. This creates a dispiriting atmosphere among humans, and oddly and sadly leads to us looking at one another in discriminating ways of loathing and personal condemnation or collective condemnation. But really, let's make an effort, shall we, as a collective, to look at where the power is and therefore where the problem is. The